how are we exiting? So what's the exit strategy? Ultimately, the financier wants to know how they're going to get their money out.
Yes.
So are you going to sell all of this, or are you going to hold and refinance?
Yeah.
And you've got to get a clear, and this is why they do some, this will go back to the valuation, is to understand whether at the very end of the project, whether there is a good chance that they will get all their money back in their pockets, payable with interest as well. So
my suggestion,
sort of get really clear with them.
My suggestion to people always is that always assume an exit strategy to the project, and that exit strategy should always be sell, because then you truly understand your walk away profits for the deal. You exactly know post GST, this is what you're walking away with. The whole strategy is where you're not paying the GST, and you're not paying the selling price or the marketing fees, etc., and dropping them into the profits for you to basically use it into the future. It does not truly show the true profits of the project. And so potentially lenders are looking at it from that perspective as well. And so when you are going to anytime say to the lender, I'm going to hold some of these assets, your servicing or your borrowing capacity would always come into question. And so they'll start assessing your borrowing and start seeking rentals or rental appraisals for the finished product as well, because they'll want to see whether the rent and the borrowing is enough for you to hold on to these properties. So, keep it simple. Always say sell, and sell is the strategy. And then if you decide to hold, that's fine. There are residual finances available to you, and you can go down that path and move the properties. But, keep it the discussion very simple from a lender's perspective, that your strategy is an exit strategy to sell, so that, there is not too much back and forth when you're going through this journey or this transaction.
Yeah. I mean, in saying that and the situations, and why I want to sort of challenge that to the next step is if the product that you have is a buy and hold, because there's going to be, do I apply GST or not? Because GST is a big chunk as well. And so there are going to be situations where the fact that you actually are not part of your feasibility is because I want to be able to not pay the GST, because this is, for example, is a long-term hold, like it's a co-living or whatever that might be. For people, that part of that extra 10% as well that you're saving on the GST portion is going to be a fair part. They don't have to pay for marketing, and the whole lot of costs you don't have to pay. You're saving a whole maybe 10-15% as well. So, I get the point of doing the numbers for selling, but for some deals, like if they're long-term holds, they might not actually make sense if they were to sell it, because it makes more sense for them to hold it.
Yeah. And look, typically if you're going to sell them and it's a loss-making asset, then of course the funder would not, lend you the money, right? And so I agree, it's a catch-22, right? Where the deal does not have enough profits for you to make an exit strategy is sell, then you are going to go do the development to hold.
Yeah.
You just need to ensure that there is enough borrowing capacity, for example, for co-living properties, where, there is enough cash flow coming from the deal for the lender to be safely saying that you can transition this from a commercial loan to a residential loan in the future, because there is enough cash flow coming out from the product.